Look, let's just cut the BS. I'm not going to say that Caleb Williams shouldn't have said what he said about Max Duggan, but at the end of the day, I can tell you this much. He should have kept his mouth shut. At this point in time, college football is just literally exploding with news and crap going on all over the country. Don't worry, I'm not here to talk about what's going on with Deion Sanders, the transfer portal, none of that. We're here to talk about something that has somehow went under the radar. I know a large majority of you watching this right now have no idea what I'm talking about. Let me ask you a question. You know Caleb Williams, right? Okay, I'm sure most of you said yes. And you also know Max Duggan, the quarterback for TCU that has led them on an amazing Cinderella run. Yeah, we gotta talk about them and some stuff that Caleb Williams said to Max Duggan that a lot of people, they're not too happy about. For example, check on this tweet. There's no misinterpreting LOL. And yes, Max does have passion for his school. You see, he stayed after coaching change and is now in the college football playoff. Max won in the end, you got paid. Big difference. Max represents the Heisman better than you. Hashtag Max for Heisman. There's also some tweets like this floating around, and you're probably also sitting there saying, yo, Matt, what in the crap did Caleb Williams do? It's not necessarily that he did something, it's more of what he said. He pissed a lot of people off. He tried apologizing for it, but many people out there, they're not going for it. Some people feel like Williams, he's just apologizing because he was getting a ton of backlash. Or wait a minute, my bad. He didn't even actually, now that I think about it, apologize for it. So I guess I do gotta give him some credit for standing his ground. He doubled down on what he said, controversial or not. We gotta talk all about that. And also another topic we gotta talk about in tonight's video is the Heisman race. The Heisman Trophy finalists have been announced, and I'm gonna tell you, not some people, but me myself, I'm not pissed off, but it makes no sense. It's not right. We're going to talk all about that. I don't agree with the finalists whatsoever. All right, Matt, blah, blah, blah. Shut the crap up. This intro's already been way too long. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, yeah, by the way, there's a ton of people watching this video. You're simply not subscribed. If you want to be a part of one of, no, scratch that, the greatest college football community on this planet, on this platform, consider subscribing. We would love to have you here. Y'all know what I say. It's 100% free to subscribe, and you can always unsub later. All right, now let's really get into it. I'm just going to try to laugh this off. I don't want to scream. I don't want to get amped up. The only thing I can do is laugh about this. It's just comical at this point, and it's sad. Your 2022 Heisman Trophy finalists are Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, Max Duggan, which I have no problem with those three guys. And last but not least, here's my problem. Stetson DoorDash Bennett. Are you kidding me? Stetson Bennett? My immediate reaction to this, and I even tweeted it out, there's no way Stetson Bennett got named as a Heisman finalist over Hendon Hooker. There is no way. There's not a single person that can look me in my eye and say, yeah, Stetson Bennett had a better season this year than Hendon Hooker. No way. To go on top of that, it's not just Hendon Hooker. There's no way that Stetson Bennett is better than Blake Corum, the running back for Michigan. There's no way that Stetson Bennett is better than Bijan Robinson, the running back for Texas. And I could continue to go on and on. Heck, I even would put Jalen Hyatt and Marvin Harrison Jr., the wide receivers, above Stetson DoorDash Bennett. Before I say anything else, let me make this clear for all my Georgia fans that are about to run to the comment section. I think Bennett, he had a good season this year. But let's not try to sit around and act like he was making game-winning plays left and right, because he wasn't. He's due for about, I'd say 6-8 good plays a game, and that's it. He's nothing more on his best days than a poor man's Johnny Manziel. To be honest, I just feel like they threw him in there because it's going to get more clicks and views, because Georgia, as we all know, they're the best team in the country. And more times than not, who does a Heisman go to? Not the most deserving player, but the best quarterback on the best team in the country. This is how it goes. Let me ask you a question. You think if Georgia would have lost to Tennessee, if they would have slipped up twice and they were 10-2, Stetson Bennett, he'd be a Heisman Trophy finalist? Absolutely not. I'm going to offer you a different perspective. If the roles were reversed and Tennessee was 12-0 and Georgia was 10-2, Hendon Hooker would be a finalist. That's my problem with the Heisman Trophy. It shouldn't be that way. I don't care if the best player in the country is on an 8-4 team. He should get the Heisman Trophy. He shouldn't be penalized because he's having a bad season, or his team is. My bad. Also, take a look at these four guys on your screen. Do you see the remedy going on here? Stetson Bennett plays for the best team in the country. Max Duggan plays for a playoff team. CJ Stroud plays for a playoff team. And Caleb Williams played for a almost playoff team. The Heisman Trophy doesn't go to the best player in the country. It goes to the best player on the best team. Think about it. If you want to take a deeper dive, let's break this down. Does anybody watching this video legitimately think that Stetson DoorDash Bennett is better than Bryce Young? No! Even if you want to troll in the comment section, I know Georgia fans are going to say, yeah, Stetson Bennett's had an awesome year though, Matt. But still, everyone knows Stetson Bennett ain't better than Bryce Young. Bryce Young is a better player than him. And no, I'm not talking about last year Bryce Young. I'm talking about this year. I remember growing up as a kid, I thought the Heisman Trophy was a big deal and I respected it. But the older I get and every single year that goes by, the less I care about it and the less I respect it. I'm not even going to read off all the tweets. Everyone's losing their minds about this, rightfully so, but check on this one. The fact that Hendon Hooker wasn't even invited to New York is enough to literally never care about the Heisman Trophy ever again. It's a popularity contest and you'll never convince me otherwise. Absolutely despicable. What a joke. I agree 10,000%. I could go on and on. The Heisman Trophy is an absolute flat-out disgrace some years. Keyword, I've said some years. I think, for example, when Devontae Smith at Alabama won it, he was the best player in the country. When Bryce Young won it last year, he was the best player in the country. Who's some other ones? Joe Burrow, he was the best player in the country. Johnny Manziel that one year. Robert Griffin III. Tim Tebow. There is, I would say 6 out of 10 years, the best player normally gets it. But the other 3 out of 4 years, it's just laughable to say the least. And I think we all can agree on that. This is the last tweet I'm going to read because I am going to lose my mind. There were Heisman voters who saw Bijan Robinson and Stetson Bennett play football this year and decided Bennett was better. Think about that for a moment. I mean, seriously, do I need to say anything more? Once again, I get it. It's not popular and it doesn't look good to even name Bijan Robinson as a finalist because Texas, they're not playing for nothing. It looks better when you have Bennett up there because Georgia playing for a championship. Once again, Stetson Bennett, I'll give him respect all day long. I'll give him his credit. He's had a pretty dang good season. He has looked great at times, but come on now. Really? The Heisman? Like, seriously, are we even going to entertain that? Georgia fans, you know you don't even agree with this. Y'all were crying when he announced he was coming back last year because you were ready to move on. In my humble opinion, Tennessee should have not one but 2 Heisman finalists, Jalen Hyatt and Hendon Hooker, and Ohio State should have C.J. Stroud and Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison Jr. got snubbed, Jalen Hyatt got snubbed, Hendon Hooker got snubbed, Blake Corum got snubbed, and who is it? Oh yeah, Bijan Robinson got snubbed. My bad. That's 5 guys off the top of my head I know is better than Bennett. I gotta get a move on before I lose my mind. Moving on to the main topic, the final topic, the reason you clicked onto this video. We gotta talk about what's going on with Caleb Williams and Max Duggan. Good old Max Duggan. I really like this guy. I really do love everything about him. He is what college football is about. Been at TCU for what seems like 6 years now. He wasn't even named the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season. He is actually what the Heisman Trophy is about, perseverance. I think that's in the definition of the Heisman Trophy. You may not like Caleb Williams, you may not like C.J. Stroud, you may not like Bryce Young, Stetson DoorDash Bennett, whoever, but I think everybody loves this kid. But however, it appears to seem that maybe Caleb Williams, he's not a fan of him. I'm sure we all saw it. If you didn't see it, I'll just explain it. After USC, they lost to Utah. Caleb Williams, he was crying, and a lot of people was making fun of him for it. That's what comes with the territory. A lot of people do not like Caleb because he left Oklahoma, and also he has that writing on his fingernails. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. Whenever he played Notre Dame, he wrote F Notre Dame on his fingernails, and before they played Utah, he did the same thing. So at this point, Caleb Williams has full-on accepted he's the villain of college football, and he likes it. That's all fine and dandy when you're winning, but when you're losing, you better get ready for the hate that's about to come. I say that to say this. After the game when he was crying, people on social media, they were making fun of him. It's 2022, that's social media, that's going to happen. But here's where things get interesting. Max Duggan, after they lost, he was crying, and on social media, people were not making fun of him, they were praising him. For example, I'll show you this tweet right here. This is the main one that was going viral, where Robert Griffin III said, "How can you not root for Max Duggan?" And there was some backlash, but for the most part, people respected Max Duggan because they were saying, hey, that's what college football is all about. He's crying because he's passionate about TCU and blah, 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 blah. You get the point. Under that, somebody said, so when Caleb Williams is crying after a loss, he's a crybaby, when Duggan is crying after a loss, he's passionate. You people are a mess. Both are passionate and great leaders for their respective teams, and I do like that comment. I'll be the first to tell you there was a double standard because people were making fun of and ridiculing Caleb Williams for crying, and then they were applauding Max Duggan. What's that about? Oh, wait a minute. I'm not going to act dumb, and neither should you. I told you, Caleb Williams, he's the villain. He left Oklahoma. He took the money. He went to USC. It's rather simple. Max Duggan, he's a Cinderella story that everybody loves. Max Duggan, like I said, wasn't even a starter heading into the season. So, of course, people are going to try to rationalize and like anything he does. And I guess I got to show this because I saw some people saying this, just flat out stupid. It's cause Caleb Williams is a black man. That's why they will always hate on us no matter what. Really? Really? Why are you even bringing that up? That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. Just like this tweet says, Caleb Williams had F Utah painted on his nails. Maybe if he wasn't cocky, people wouldn't be calling him a crybaby. That's what it is, like I said. It has nothing to do with Caleb Williams is black. It has everything to do with he's the villain. Meanwhile, while all this was going on, Caleb Williams, he wound up quote tweeting that, where it has Robert Griffin III saying that and Max Duggan crying, and all he said was LOL. The tweet is now deleted, but I got a screenshot of it. Come on, Caleb Williams. It's 2022. Everybody's going to screenshot anything and everything you say. A lot of people were giving him backlash for it because they thought that Caleb, he was trying to laugh at Max Duggan. Me personally, I saw the tweet whenever he put it out. I just thought he was tweeting it out because of the double standard. People were criticizing Caleb Williams for crying, but then they were applauding Duggan. I kind of figured that's exactly what it's about. However, most people did not. For example, this tweet right here has got over 500 likes. Absolutely perfect showing of the classlessness, is that even a word? That is Caleb Williams. This is your king, question mark? Why did I say question mark, and why have I been saying dot. I don't have to say it. You guys can read, but anyways, you get the point. I don't think Caleb was laughing at Duggan. I simply think it was all about the double standard, just like this tweet says. I thought the same, but the tweet was about how people show Max love when he lost, but hate on Caleb when he loses. He wasn't making fun of Max. Either way, he just needs to keep his mouth shut, and that's what I agree with the most. He shouldn't have said anything. Regardless, though, he did say something, and he addressed it, and here's what Caleb said. Wasn't laughing at Max D. Happy for him, his journey, his team, his passion for his school. I feel the same way after we lost this year. With us athletes, we put in so much work and are so passionate about our work that it hurts to not achieve what you worked so hard for. But like I said, you get comments like this where they're saying, nope, there's no misinterpreting LOL, and they're not going for it. They think that Caleb Williams was trying to throw shade toward Max Duggan, and I see where they're coming from. Under what he posted, I found this tweet to be rather fascinating. Check it out. Always remember, you have young people watching you and wanting to emulate you in your actions. I think you're an incredibly talented football player, but your choice to wear F Utah on your fingernails for nationally televised broadcast was classless, in my humble opinion. I never really thought about it like that, but he's 100% right. I don't think it matters what I believe because Caleb Williams is his own man and he's going to do what he wants. But at the same time, you have to understand you're not just an athlete, you're a role model. So although I don't think it's necessarily bad for kids to see that, I don't think it's a good thing if that makes sense. Because come on now, let's not act like these kids eventually they're not going to hear people say the F word and all that stuff. I wouldn't say it's classless because he could use it as motivation, but on a deeper level, it's not a good look career-wise. Because maybe some of these big-time brands and commercials, if he makes it to the NFL, they're going to see that and they're going to turn away. You never know what can happen in the long run. That's why you kind of need to not do that stuff. I'm going to make a long story short. I don't think Caleb Williams was trying to laugh at Max Duggan. It was all about the double standard, but I still think he should have kept his mouth shut and shouldn't have tweeted out anything at all. I know there's going to be mixed feelings and emotions about it. So with that being said, I am very curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But